Sniffing is not just one technique or one attack like a brute force, like the same thing we are doing for the getting the password. Sniffing is a collection of techniques. Okay, the some techniques of a sniffing that can be used for the system administration to troubleshoot or analyze the data packet that are passing through your network. Okay, and hacker will use the same techniques to abuse those things. Okay, now there are two types of sniffing: active sniffing and the passive sniffing. Okay, so in the active sniffing, attacker directly interact with the target machine. Okay, by sending data packets and the receiving the responses. And here sniffing is carried out through the switch. In this type, the attacker try to poison the switch by sending bogus MAC address. Okay, here is an example of ERP snooping, DNS snooping. Okay, so here what attacker is trying to do? Attacker is trying to do MAC spoofing basically, or we can say ERP spoofing. So here they are entering a bogus address. Okay, bogus MAC address. Why? Because there are trend system in the same network. Okay, all have the IP address and the MAC ID different. But in the MAC ID will not change whether you change your network. Okay, it will be the constant. It will not alter your MAC address. But if you change your network, then IP address will be changed. Okay, so that's a active sniffing. So here attacker trying to add their entry to switch because switch has maintained all the records which IP has connected, which has a list of ERP table basically that are storing in the switch. Okay, so in that they are storing. Suppose we all are connected in one network. So in that switch, they stored the IP address of my system, MAC address of my system, and the data that I am trying to send. Okay, same way it will store Tinula systems, IP MAC, Florin systems, and Nikin system IP and the MAC. So that any address, any packet will reach to your specific person. Then based on the data it will send to the particular person. Okay, so in the switch there is a mechanism for storing this called the cam table. Okay, so based on that, whenever suppose I want to send some data to Tinila, so in the switch they will check Tinila's MAC ID and the IP address and my IP and the MAC address. Once it is fine, it will send those data to particular system. That is a simple mechanism in the network for the switch part. Okay, that is called the active sniffing. And the passive sniffing, attacker does not interact with the target. He simply hook on the network, capture the packet, transmit and receive by the network and exchange between the two machines. Okay, here the sniffing is carried out through the hub, and attacker connects to the hub from his or her machine and attacker accounts on the LAN. Example of hub-based network and wireless network things. Okay, so here they are not directly connected with the target machine. Okay, on other hand, ARP spoofing, match spoofing, DNS spoofing, all our attacker has to connect with the particular machine. Either it will be switch, either it will be DNS. Okay, so that's a part of a passive spoofing. For more detail, I'm just explaining one by one what is the ARP spoofing, what is X spoofing. Okay, so you will get a better idea. Okay, so you can see here this is a common scenario. Okay, so here you can see this is your lane user. This is in between hub or switch, lane gateway, and the internet. Okay, So this is a normal scenario. What whenever you are trying to access anything, the normal scenario will work like these things. Okay, it will first will reach to LAN, then it will go to switch for accessing, then it will go to the LAN gateway, and the finally it will reach to the internet. And routing subject to ARP cache poisoning. Whenever we can say ARP poisoning, ARP spoofing, or are the same. So whenever LAN user is trying to connect it with switch, and switch will more connected with a malicious user, then it will pass the data through your hub and switch, and it will goes to LAN. Okay, and the final it will reach to the internet. So this is the scenario. This is the LAN user will first go to switch, and it will then pass it through to the malicious user, and it will pass through the LAN switch and the LAN gateway and the internet. So this is the case in the ARP spoofing or the AIP poisoning part. Okay. Okay. So first thing is what is a ARP? ARP is the address resolution protocol. Okay. It is a communication protocol, is one of the important network protocol in the OSI model. Okay. So we can say this is thing. Okay, and it's to determine device MAC address based on the IP address. As I mentioned, they in the switch they have CAM table basically. Okay, CAM table will store everything, all device information like IP address, MAC address, everything. So whenever any packet, anything came to the switch, it will identify based on the data table that is stored. Like it will store my MAC address, my IP address. It will store Florin's IP address, MAC address. It will store uh, Tinolia's IP address and the MAC address. Okay, and if I am trying to send some data through the switch, in there it will check the IP address and the MAC address of the things. Then after it will share those data. Otherwise, it will give an error. That is the ARP spoofing part. Okay, and this is the thing. ARP spoofing is a cyber attack that allow hacker to intercept. You can see here. In between, if the hacker is not there, then normal communication like this one from this device to second device and second device to first device. But whenever the ARP spoofing is done, in between hacker will become and intercept the traffic. Okay, everything will be intercepted by the attacker. Okay. Now, different types of ARP spoofing like man in the middle, session hijacking, denial of the service attack. Now, preventive measure for those things is cryptographic controls, network protocol, as I mentioned, encryption, transport layer security, HTTPS using SSH. So those type of things we can call the cryptography network protocol. Second, packet filtering. Okay, so packet filtering, if we can implement, then we can protect ourselves from the malicious transmitted packets on the network. If we see some packet is also allowed only. Okay, so that's a packet filtering part. Then virtual private network VPN, as we are using. Okay, why? Because in the back end, VPN will encrypt all the network traffic that are passing through the server. So, and second thing, it will hide your identity also. Okay, so that's a VPN and ARP spoofing detection software. Okay, so generally organizers are not using those software. Okay, unless and until they can prevent this thing from the firewall side, configuring those things, which configuration from those devices they are trying to control this activity. Okay, ARP spoofing. That's called the ARP spoofing part.
Thank you for watching. Switch from non-IT to IT today. Explore www.thinkcloudly.com.